Everything old is new again, and it's no different when it comes to education. Parents wanting to avoid overcrowded classrooms are opting for microschools, which are basically the one-room schoolhouse rebranded, and it is surging in popularity. The National Microschooling Network says there's about 95,000 microschools spread out across the country, and the entire student body of these schools averages just 16 students, obviously lower than the average class size of traditional American schools. Supporters of the microschool movement say, hey, it bolsters their children's academic experience, it gives them added attention. But skeptics say these schools often lack any oversight, and they worry about the quality of education that children are receiving. So let's dig into it. Let's bring in the Chief Executive Officer of the National Microschooling Center, Mr. Don Soifer. Don, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. What is it about these microschools that is really making them more popular with families?
Thanks, Nichole, and thanks for bringing up this important topic. Microschools are wonderful in so many ways. They're taking off around the country. They look different in different states and different communities. What's beautiful about it is that they're not only small learning environments, which is enough to work for an awful lot of kids, but they really can truly be built around the specific needs of the particular learner that you're serving. So microschool founders build on relationships to create a microschool where kids can thrive, where they had not in their prior educational settings. So it looks differently in lots of places, and it's really one of the most exciting storylines we've seen in American education in a generation.
So Don, I do have a couple questions, because I can absolutely see why a parent would want their child or their children to receive more attention. And if there are 16 kids in the entire school, so to speak, obviously their kid is going to get a lot more attention. But then how does it work as far as teachers? Because are these teachers who can teach, you know, my kindergartner and also my 7th grader, or are there different teachers in this one-room schoolhouse as well?
So microschool founders are thoughtful and deliberate in designing the learning environment that works well for the learners that they're serving. About half, a little over half of them are licensed educators or recently licensed educators in their own state. And some of them bring backgrounds that are completely different. So as long as you're creating a learning environment that you can make your curricular decisions, your educational decisions, your scheduling decisions around the needs of the particular learners, right? So it's really about thriving. So we have microschools that do terrific work letting children who bring neurodiversity or special needs, or kids who are just not thriving in their prior educational settings. And microschools can build around these to really make sure that can continue to be the case.
So is there an area of the country that is seeing the biggest boom in these microschools? I know that they are, you know, becoming more popular across the country, but is there an area where they're maybe more concentrated?
So we're really seeing microschools in just about every state. We've got a real hotbed happening in South Florida, in Arizona, but it's not just the school choice states. We've got a great base in Nevada. We're going to talk to Kansas microschoolers in Wichita later this week. It really looks differently around the country in different ways, right? Because microschool founders are building around the particular frameworks and requirements in their particular states. So it looks different in lots of places, and it's wonderful to see.
And right now, there is no single regulatory body monitoring these microschools. We mentioned that at the top. Should there be, Don?
So on the one hand, in school choice states that microschools, like other schools of choice, are stewards for the taxpayers' dollars, there are reasonable conversations about ensuring that the taxpayers and the families are getting a good deal. But microschools right now in every state are accountable to the most important stakeholders in education, right, to the families. And microschools are doing a terrific job demonstrating their impact and their effectiveness to those parents in lots of ways that are thoughtful and designed around the mission of the microschool, that are just so much more involved and just have much more to say than what we've come to get used to as the public school accountability frameworks across the country that, as we know, aren't really all that accountable at all.
Yeah, and we know that, well, parents are certainly choosing this option. National Microschooling Center CEO Don Soifer, thank you for giving us some of your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.